Welcome to this week's edition of the Sports Scoop. I'm Dale Kuyath, and joining me are my regulars, Joel Hayford, head basketball and softball coach at Waseca.
That's right now.
And Ted Hammond, head boys JWP basketball coach.
Just one sport.
Hafe, any reports in the Summer League for this week?
Summer League-wise, couple of games last week, played New Richland. I tell you, that New Richland team, they're young like we're going to be,
young.
And I think they're going to be pretty good. Second time we played them during the summer, and I thought, hey, last time they ran the heck out of us up and down the court. We're going to go a zone and try to stop them. Well, they hit 2 threes right away. So then we kind of turned the tables and said, well, we're going to just go full court pressure against them. And by golly, if we didn't get a little spurt of energy and make a run on them and make it a pretty respectable game, and getting beat by 20 last time, I think they got us by about 8 this last time. So it was some improvement for us. And then I can't recall who we played the second game. We got a win there. It's just that summer league ball is just a good chance to get to know the kids, run up and down, learn to play together, and it's been fun. We've enjoyed it.
I'm looking forward to the regular season when you and NRHEG square off, because from all my reports down there, Coach John Schultz has them really firing away from three-point land, and they aren't quite as disciplined as they have been.
Oh, I mean, it's hard to tell from the league games, but they'll take what you give them. If they've got the open shot, they're going to take it and knock it down, and they've got some players that can do it, and they like to run the floor, and they get early opportunities, they're going to put it in, and I think that's the way we're going to have to be too. Is I think my philosophy is if you can get that open shot right away, take it. Why just throw 4 passes around just to throw it around when you can throw it away? So put her up there.
Chances are one of the 4 you probably will throw away.
Chances are it could, but we're going to make sure that doesn't happen this year, hopefully, and cut down on the turnovers and increase the opportunities to get points.
What is the best turnover?
Apple.
Yep, I agree.
I've been around you too long. I nailed that one.
And Ted, how are the Bulldog boys doing at summer ball?
Well, we played Waterville. Well, they got a green and a white team over in the Bethany League, and we played the green team, but it was the same as the white team, so I think they're just coming over double nights there, and we took them. They didn't have all their regulars. I guess they got some guys right now that have had some summer mishaps. They've got, I think young Pope was out for some reason. Another guy was on a trampoline or something and went up to get a ball off the ceiling of the garage or something, Mossberg or something. I don't know. They got all kinds of injuries right now, but they'll all be back, I'm sure, by playoff time. But we started out, we had to give them some more guys because they had some freshmen that couldn't drive, so they had to have a mother drive them over. So they got there late. So then when we finally split back into even teams, they had Gregor and they had this Conkey kid, and they're going to be starters this year for them. And we came out, we were down by 9 with about 5 minutes to go in the game. I called a timeout. We said we're going to go to our rock, our half press, and we outscored them by 14 points the last 5 minutes, and it was a good win. I mean, obviously they're missing some of their key starters, but same time we haven't tasted a win against them in a long time. So it was just fun, even summer ball. I told the guys I'm sick and tired of losing these guys. About time you guys put your best foot forward, and we hit a couple free throws. A kid named Utah, I call him, Josh Stockman hit a one-on-one free throw with about 8 seconds to go, and then they missed the last second shot. So for a summer league game, it was really exciting, close game.
And both you guys, are you happy with the number of players you're getting out in the summer and with, of course, weight room work?
Weight room work it's tough. I don't know about Joel, but we've got limited numbers over Janesville, and the kids a lot of times they don't want to do the work for football, and that's a good time in the summertime. And the coaches are giving up their time to come in early in the morning or try to work around their schedules. The kids have work schedules and things like that to do in the summer, and it just doesn't pay fruition right now. But you get this, the really hardcore kids in there, Iron Dog kids we call them, and they put in the time and effort. Usually there'll be some wrestlers that really want to show well in wrestling season, but the theory over there has been a long time with Dave Tonoli. Weightlifting wasn't good for basketball,
right.
And basketball kind of ruled the roost there for a while, and that theory is still, I think, in a mindset with the dads, and they're just saying, you're not going to be a good shooter, you're pumping iron all the time. But you look at some of the physiques of NBA players and college players, they're hitting the weight room all the time.
Manny had the same philosophy.
Yeah.
Hafe, how was the turnout for your crews?
Well, I think the numbers were, after a lot of graduation to some pretty good players in the Waseca program, we'll have about 3 seniors have been kind of playing with us and working out with us this summer. That's not a whole lot, and I think 1 junior. So if you look at the upperclassmen, not a lot of interest, not a lot of numbers there right now. From 10th grade on down, that's where we seem to have quite a bit of interest. Our 10th grade group, a lot of those girls, some of them are some gym rats and are out there playing it quite a bit, so pretty good involvement with the younger kids, and we're probably going to be a pretty young team that we put on the floor here this winter, most likely.
And of course, I know it's impossible to judge in the summertime, but do you see hope that your sophomores are going to be able to compete at the varsity level?
Just what I've seen within the league play here, they're going to have to, number one, because they're probably going to be some of the better skilled players within our system. And I think this has been just a good experience for them playing these league games to see if they can make it against varsity level play, because Lexi Alfers, she's had a lot of varsity experience. She's certainly going to be our mainstay in the middle there.
What is she now, about 5'7"?
Yeah, and add about probably 6 inches onto that. And she did well. She went to a Concordia camp, an elite camp, just this past week, and did very well there. And I think there's some small colleges that are taking a look at her. She's going to have a chance maybe to play beyond it to the next level. Certainly, I think some strength training is going to be needed in the future for her to go on to that next level there. But she can jump. She's got a good inside touch, and I know we're going to depend on her quite a bit this upcoming winter, along with a bunch of other youngsters. Kari Simmons is the junior that I had mentioned, and she's looked pretty good in our league play. So those two with Caitlin Miller as a sophomore, those three have been pretty solid in the post play for us during league play. Then after that, a bunch of youngsters around the perimeter for us. Tessa Kruger, another senior, she had some varsity experience last year.
And you can take this to the bank, okay? The defense will be there game in and game out the way Hafe teaches it, because as a person that used to guard all the time, he's in your shorts and you can't get rid of him. So I tell you what, those girls are going to be in for defensive experience, and every night you can bet they're going to be laying it out on the floor for the defensive experience, I guarantee you.
And I don't know how tall Lexi is, Ted, but I was talking to her the other day and her legs were above my head. So.
Well, I know I look up to her.
Although the 28-inch NC, I can understand that.
Cookie's built pretty short to the sidewalk, too, and you have to figure that.
And Hafe, you also have to put on the other hat in the summer and go a little bit about softball, and I see basically your varsity girls won a big national qualifier a couple weekends ago over in Mankato.
They did. They've been playing some very good softball throughout the summer here, and I've had a chance to just kind of go around and watch some of the younger teams play. The summer coaches are doing just a wonderful job. I see them really working on the fundamentals, and the kids are having a good time out there, and that's what it's all about, and to develop the interest in it, and then get up to those older levels where those kids are just having a good summer.
Any pitchers?
Well,
any surefire pitchers?
We're going to be young pitching there
this
next year. We graduated Danny and Casey, who are just solid for us for four years. Even as a freshman, they did well. We're going to have two sophomores be pitching for us next year. Caitlin Miller and Abby Collins will be our young pitchers next year, back to 43 feet. And the nice thing is that they moved it back this summer already, so they're gaining some experience from that distance. That extra 3 feet certainly does make a difference, especially when you're younger.
Yeah.
Well, let's look at our local teams, and we have a plug for us old guys. When the Waseca Braves went to Rochester last week and pulled Gene Glenn Sr. out of the stands to go to right field, Blake Nelson out of the stands to go to second base, and they're both in the 50-plus age. And then they had the 17-year-old Clint Larson at third base, just to field 9 guys. So what in the world has happened to the once proud tradition Waseca Braves? We used to have 8 guys sitting on the bench.
I know. It was the kiddie movement, I call it, with the young guys coming in. And in the summertime, the commitment's not quite there like in the old days. You wouldn't miss a Braves game.
No.
Just wouldn't. But times have changed. I hate to say that, but I went to the game last Saturday when they had the alumni team came back. That was 20-year reunion for the state championship from high school. And they only had 4 guys to go out on the field because the other guys were at their class reunion. They didn't want to give up the class reunion to be introduced before the Braves game. So that was kind of funny. But things, they just have changed. It's not the same commitment that you had, and you hate to say, the old days, but But it was just a pride factor that you had that you weren't going to miss. And
You're right. Before
that's-
games, there's so many guys to take batting practice. It's like, oh, wow, we got
Yeah.
20 guys to get through. Then the dugout, try to find a place to put your stuff. And just packed, and you're almost glad when you're out in the field because the dugouts were so crowded.
Now you can have your girlfriend sitting in the dugout. You can have everybody down there. Have a family reunion. You still have plenty of room.
Well, the good news is the Braves won that game.
Yes,
with,
they did.
With a couple of old timers, beat the Rochester Blues 6-4. I believe they're 6-5 for the summer.
The only team will do any record.
The Legion team picked up their first 2 wins of the year this week.